Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's see here. Trying to figure out what we're doing today. Pretty sure we're going to finish up art stuff from last time, which I suppose means I should open up that image. Come up with a name for it, figure out its actual mechanics, implement it. Those things, that's what we need to do. I think here's the few things I think that need to be done. Because I had a chance to look at it, right? I think his arm's a little off. There's a lot of little things I think that's adding up to make it look weird, right? Doesn't look quite right. Part of it, yeah, I think his anatomy isn't quite, quite right. There will be a point where I get to, I think, that I'm just like, it's good enough, I do like these little houses in the background, and I feel like they could be more pronounced, but I think that might be directly on the background layer. I believe it is. I think maybe making that more of a thing will help, because I think one of the things I want to do, actually, let's set up a guide. New guides. Actually, we want to do guide layout. Actually, let's just drag guides down. So we're working with the rule of thirds, right? We'll just kind of wing it here slightly. So the problem is, I feel like he probably should be more on the third rather than kind of in the center. Which means, I mean, maybe the thing to do... Like, I think a lot of little things are going wrong with this right now. Just the background. Guess you can't throw the background into a thing if it's locked. So let's see that. There we go. BG. This is just the sketch, right? Yeah. So I think, honestly, the foreground and the monster need to be more like this. Because right now the composition isn't right. Right? That feels a lot better already. Yeah, step one is getting the composition to look better. That I already think is an improvement. What else can we do? I kind of feel like this here can be more angled. Maybe even a bit bigger. I also think his shoulder is like weird, right? His shoulder, he's doing a punch, but his shoulder is kind of, I guess his elbow isn't up high enough, right? Maybe? I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. So that probably needs to be tweaked. Let's compare it real quick, because this is the one I kept pulling up and trying to figure out why this looks okay, but the other one doesn't. Let's look at the rule of thirds here real quick. And we basically have one head on one and then the other head kind of on the other. It's a little bit off, right? But more or less, we've got them on the thirds. That's why compositionally looks good, or better at least. And then this here, I guess we've got like little flags and stuff, right? And it looks better. Whereas here, it kind of feels empty. And I think part of it is maybe I just went too dark with some of the colors. I also messed something up when moving things here. So let's see here. Or maybe I'm just not covering. Yeah, I'm not covering some of the stuff I did. So let's add. Well, this needs to move over now. There we go. I want to say, let's see here. Part of this little hill, yeah, this hill needs to be filled in again. And then there's a line art layer here somewhere. Here? There we go. Is that? Yeah. So let's erase this. Do do do. Do do. I think his shoulder is just coming out too far. We'll come back to that in a second, though. I'm keep jumping the gun. If I do this, I want to sample current layer. Grab this. Well, that's pretty much. It's pretty much black. All layers. Sometimes I wish there was like an easier way to toggle those kind of things, but at the same time I understand why it's not. Okay, so we've got some weird layers on top of each other is what's happening, I think. Yeah, this layer is on top of that layer. All sorts of weirdness. Okay, I think I like the idea of rather than having, I guess it's part of the foreground, right? Rather than having all of this be red. Doing this is more of a blue light. Might be a little bit nicer. There we go. Now the annoying part is like moving any part of his body is gonna be weird. So let's just do this. Let's duplicate the group. I think I had delete and said duplicate. And then hide this. Merge group. And see if we can see if this looks correct. If we move his shoulder back farther. Puppet tool's not gonna work. I don't know. I think just like he's unbalanced looking, right? Is part of the problem. It might end up being one of those things where I can't care anymore, you know? I think with the foreground, I also want maybe a bit of a motion blur here. We'll see what happens here. I'm not entirely convinced that this is going to be quite right, but that does look better. Things are definitely improving as I go, but I don't know if it's like solving the core issues of it, you know? I think he looks a little stiff is the biggest problem. That does look a bit better, I think. Having his shoulder a smidge lower. I just don't know if he looks threatening enough, you know? Bigger is more threatening. Maybe. I think also don't know if it's perfect, but I think that is... it might be a bit better, I don't know. All right, I do want to add some lighting to the ground. Actually, I think, okay, a few things. Step one, let's fully fix this background here. And then go here, be... Almost, I don't know what color this was. It's not that. Guess we will do this thing, sample current layer, click. And then we continue. Until it looks good. And then I think I want to add some of those little buildings back in. I think that will help. That'll help sell it's like an actual environment, right? And then also our monster friend here feels like a light source, right? Like he's glowing brighter than everything else. So the ground should also reflect that. So I think that's an important distinction here too. Need some light. He's emanating pink light or magenta light, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what blend mode to do though. I think that works pretty well. And then yeah, I want to add little like buildings in the background. Because I think that looks good. It's always weird working in like just really tiny scale. Something like that. Okay, so I think there's just a tiny bit of like blending I want to do with this. And then I think he's good enough. Maybe just erase this. Get less of a hard seam. Guess who decided to join us? Cat cam activate. Form of Luna. I think that's what we like to call good enough. There's maybe like a few little tweaks, but like I'm not sure how I feel about some of these little tidbits here. And also scaling him did change his like line art quality a little bit, but I think that's good enough. I maybe could institute some of this purple color, but if that's the right word. Integrate, add. Nah. A little bit of shading might help. And then maybe last thing, just to kind of give off that sort of like I said, he's kind of a light source. What if we just give him a little bit of a glow? Then maybe we tone that down a smidge, make it like not add. Well, maybe if we did add and then nah. Just do honestly, I think no blend type and just make it a little bit more translucent, and then we'll go back and tune it a smidge. There we go. I think that's good enough. I think I'm happy enough with that. Is it perfect? No. Is it good enough? Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that bothers me is his like hip here. It doesn't feel quite right, but I don't know what is right, so I think for now it just is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good enough. All right, he's done. Ooh, sorry. Not mean to do that. Oh, look, Tice is live. Yo, Aiden, what's up? Just finishing up the art from Monday. I think I'm happy enough with it. It's not perfect, but I think it's good. I think it might be good enough for me. Better than it was, at the very least. What are you up to? How you doing? Do you need to come up with a name for this creature? Just eating dinner, chilling. Nice. Very, very nice. What am I doing with my life? Let's see. I am saving as a monster. Although, I probably should come up with a name before I even... I don't know why I just did that. I should come up with a name first. Let's see. Let's go to our, beta cards here. I mean, Overflow Beast is kind of a cool name, but it feels a little too on the nose to be, you know, to be, its actual name. I think we might go to the old ChatGPT and see if it can just be a thesaurus for me. Oops, that's a hit. Can you come up with some chaotic monster names? I just did not spell chaotic correctly at all. It's so funny that it knows I'm talking about my game. See, now it's doing very... it does stuff that's very... Right now it's just... God, my brain is not working. It's doing stuff that's very specific. Let's make the name more generic. Definitely didn't describe the monster to it. Yeah, for sure. Well, this is better. Yeah, like Chaos Spawn, Rot Beast, Void Wretch. Void Wretch is a cool one, but not really. Doom Claw, maybe. No, I feel like Doom is too, whatever. These are better, right? These are more generic. But yeah, well, let's give it a shot. The monster is almost ape, like it is made of crystals and mechanically it attacks hero all types of player cards. Let's just see what it gets. Bone Crusher is kind of good, but I feel like doesn't feel chaotic enough. Crystal Breaker. Yeah, see, I knew of giving it an animal thing, but Crystallized Warden. Interesting. Obsidian Maw. Maul? Maul. Shard Brute. I kind of do like that. That's kind of cool. Shard Gorilla. Yeah, I was like, that's just, no, stop. I knew saying like ape-like was gonna give it dumb names like, I don't know, just dumb names. I like brute as like sort of a term for it. It feels brute-like. Yeah, Shard Gorilla. Sometimes ChatGPT doesn't get it, but it does give you enough that you can find something that actually works. I like some of the first ones that had actual names that an old god would have. Yeah, some of these were kind of cool. But the problem is like, yeah, none of the everything else is more generic. Like I like Blight Grasp, that's kind of cool, but Herald of Spoils. Yeah, I mean these are cool these are cool names, but they're not Vein of the Void. Yeah, these are very unique names, and unfortunately that is not what we've gone with. These are very like, yeah, Magic the Gathering like card names. The Shard of Infinite Night. Are the old gods not named monsters? Sort of, yeah. The old gods are named. The old gods and the gods are named, but everything else is generic. And the old gods, you're only going to be fighting one at a time. Yeah, technically a different categorization of card, but, you know, same difference, really. Yeah, they're the only named things. So those would be good for, yeah, these guys, but... yeah, these would be good old god names. Yeah, like Maw of the Abyss is cool. I feel like you could take some of these names and repurpose them. Like you could call it like a Abyss Maw, and that would be like a cool creature potentially. You know, that kind of idea. Maybe not that exactly, but Rot Bloom, the Gardener of the Void. That's kind of sick. Yeah, mix and match them. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with ChatGPT is it's just a good brainstorming tool. Warden of the Wasteland. I feel like these, not like the, let's, I'm trying to see. I like the term brute. All right, like the term brute, give me more along those lines. No, those are really good. Crystal Brute, Shard Brute, Prism Brute. Yeah, no, those are good. More terms like that, but not exactly. Shard Beast, Crystal Maw, Glimmer Brute. That's very lame. Frostman, Obsidian Jaw, Stone Crusher. More chaotic. Why can't I spell chaotic? Yeah, there's an A. Wreckstone, Howl Shard, Tempest Maw. Yeah, none of these are really that good. Havoc Brute is kind of interesting, but I'm not really loving any of these. I think the closest thing to something I liked was Shard Brute, but even that's kind of like, eh. Yeah, the interesting thing is, like, a lot of the old names were actually originally just creatures, and they were, like, they're based off of, like, fantasy creatures, and then just renamed into, like, chaos-like creatures. Like, Nethermuck is just a slime. Chaos Worm is a Hydra. Let's see if I can feed it these, and then it gives me something similar. These are the ones I currently have. Give me more like that. Like hat, that. This is uninteresting content. Super interesting stream. Flesh Render, Doomcaller, Runebender, Gravebane, Fury Behemoth. Behemoth seems like it needs to be bigger than that. Dread Harbinger, Hellrat, Wretch. Yeah, I don't know. The heck do I call this thing currently? Overflow Beast. Try something with Beast. And if I don't get anything here, then I'm just going to call it. I'm going to name it something random and then come back to it. Abyssal Beast, Flesh Beast, Chaos Beast. Chaos Beast a little on the nose. Void Beast, Doom Beast, Blight Beast. Nightmare Beast, Havoc Beast, Grim Beast. Yeah, I don't like any of these. We'll just think of it. We'll just name it something for now. And then we'll give it a temp name. How do I describe this? So if the car, you know, I probably should change my my Twitch thing. I'm not really doing art right now. I probably will, but let's switch it to game dev. If the card, no. If this monster kills a target or a destroys is the proper term. What is wrong with me? Yes, that's right. I don't know why I always want to do destroys like DI instead DE. If this monster destroys a card, any excess damage will be carried over to the next card type in the attack order. It might be a little confusing because like this monster destroys a card, any excess damage will be carried over to the next card type in the attack order. I don't think that's quite right, but it's fine for now. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. It doesn't like it doesn't tell what the strength of the card is. Like maybe doing the next available. Because strength is the wrong word. But I think that's close enough. I don't know. I might have to ask like other people and see what they actually think of it while playing. Because it might be misconstrued to other things, but for now, good enough. Does this even have a card nickname? I feel like that just goes... Yeah, this doesn't even need to be here. Delete column. Cool. Is that like that in this? Yeah, it's just completely unnecessary. Yep, cool. Attack strongest hero structure land, cool. We'll give it a defeated effect. Its strength will be something like 5. We'll come back to it later. Let's move on to another one. All right, what sounds interesting here? So we did this. I think the most interesting one is either something that consumes a minion and deals extra damage. I think that one sounds fun. The other one would be... basically the old Abyssal Horde one, which basically it's a low strength card, but once it attacks something, all minions will attack its attack order, or in its attack order. Which means basically it's getting 3 more attack. They almost function similarly. I almost feel like the consuming thing needs more to it, though. Like, dealing extra damage is interesting, but I feel like not particularly interesting enough. So I feel like maybe the maybe the one that where attacks other cards, or sorry, the the one where it's minions attack in the same order. My brain is not all here today. I don't know why. I feel like it should be like well rested, but my brain isn't firing on all cylinders here. Thought I had another idea written here. Did I not write all these down? I thought we had another idea for a land here. Is there like a version history on this? Yeah. Trying to see where it would have been. Yeah, I could have sworn I had another idea for a land, or I thought Maximus brought up one. Like, I thought I wrote it down. Unless it was one of the ones I wrote down. No. Maybe? I guess it is draw one when something is destroyed. Okay, never mind. I'm losing my mind. Draws a menu when monster rooms is destroyed. Yeah. I mean, we could easily do something like that. Maybe we should just do a void land. This one's easy because I think the way to do it, most of our lands are, or wastelands are based off of existing lands. So what I would just do is I'd probably take one of the new lands, and I think Graveyard would be perfect for this. And we can save this as a wasteland. I don't know why I haven't actually resaved these. That's maybe why my brain doesn't work for this. Is I haven't actually renamed my file path. I want to like mix it with that and with this somehow with the aesthetic of yeah, I really need to rename these file paths. Void Rift. Ooh, goes my phone. I don't know why it does that. So some sort of aesthetic mix of these two. Because that is how I have been doing the old what's it called? This is how I've been doing the wastelands. And a lot of this I think I would turn off. Maybe leave the fog. I'm trying to see where these brighter lights are coming from. It's here. No? Oh. Okay. Even saturation. Let's make this more magenta-y. If that's a word. Maybe let's do colorize instead. It's weird that's applying it to more than I would have expected. Oh, I guess some of it's... Let's delete that. That might not be the color I go with, but we'll see. This is interesting to see how some of these layers are actually working. See, why is there... That's all the fog. I guess some of it's white, so it's like... The only one that's really getting anything is the colorized layer, right? We want a teal. I think honestly this is gonna want to be teal as well. It's a little silly of me that I put the moon on the same layer here, but this is doing nothing. Hello? Oh, because it's below. There we go. Let's get it to a nice teal color. I think. Meh. Okay, now we need the old god info slot. And I think we'll put in a portal on the ground. And this will be a very, hopefully, easy art to just be done with. Which I don't know if, like, in the future I should just keep doing that, like where I just make one card look like the other cards. Like the old god cards look like the player cards, because I kind of did that out of well, originally we named them specifically like they were supposed to be the opposite sort of effect, but I don't know if that's like the thing to do going forward, but it is what I have been doing, so it's consistent at least, you know? We'll see though. I think we do something like some sort of portal in the center here, right? Just kind of coming out of the ground. And we have like creatures crawling out. We may make it a little less white, I guess. And a little darker, but we will see. I just need to sketch something out. Get the general shape of it. Probably should also follow the contours of like the ground. Which is not perfect for what we're working with here, I guess. And maybe we even do something like a... like it's a multi-dimensional tear? I don't know. I don't know, I'm kind of just drawing at this point, or scribbling. But maybe it'll be something, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I don't hate it, you know? Let's just see if this is actually anything. Or if this is just gonna look weird. I think it might just be weird, but aren't we all? So, you know? Yeah, I don't know exactly what this shape is or if it makes any sense at all, but it feels unique, and so we're trying it. Worst case, we just go back to the original plan, but... I'm gonna do this, but like slightly lighter maybe going in. And then we get to like the event horizon kind of deal, which is just going to be darkness. Otherwise, it really shouldn't be called a void portal. Is this actually black, or is this like a dark, dark green? I don't know. I think it's actually black. Gonna have to do something here to this because it's not quite right, but we'll make it work. Yeah, we'll need to play around with the shading on this. Right now it's just looking really flat. Especially with like the fog and stuff being so weird. Or not like interacting properly with the this weird portal thing. You make it more flame-like. Yeah, I think the inconsistent lighting's a little weird right now, but we'll go back and make everything look better. The key to, like, I found with, like, fire a lot of the time is just making a shape and then going back and erasing it actually gives you a better look than just trying to draw fire. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but we'll need this, like, interacting better with the environment, but here we are. Just in general, actually, because right now it's looking very, like... I guess this it's feeling a little bit better, but not quite there. Looks very much more, like, tendrily right now than it does actual fire, but... I think it's just whatever brush I'm using, it's, like, easier to, like, make spikes, I guess, with erasing than it is to actually draw them, like, outright, I guess. Oh, so it looks better this way. Do 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 do. I think it's because, like, I don't know, I guess it just tapers better. It's like the same brush. It's, like, confusing why it erases better than it draws on, I guess. I don't know. More randomized pattern, maybe. This feels like it needs something. And then I think we need to bring this color up into these sections as well. I'm definitely thinking there's going to need to be like a teal like overlay over this whole thing. Shade it properly. Because the background is just not the same. It's kind of crazy looking. I almost want to just... Yeah, this is crazy. No. I also don't know if I want this to be like pure black. I almost think I want it to be more of a like really deep this color. Like a deep teal. I think maybe the way to do that though, rather than recoloring this whole thing, is doing an overlay layer, like shading this a bit. I think my cat may have just squeaked in her sleep. It was very cute. I don't know what blend mode would work here, but kind of want to bring this color in a bit. Might be no blend mode, honestly. That looks kind of cool. This looks bad right now, but hold on. I think we're just gonna do that. And then carve away at it a little bit. Give it some shape. And then we need to make the background actually match. So I think this is a good first step, but we want to add a layer. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna go like this. We go to teal, we paste it on there, and then we kind of just go through the blend modes until something looks right. I want to say it's just gonna be color. kind of just replaces the need for the human saturation. I almost want to do this. One's gonna be color. I'm gonna duplicate it. And then we're gonna change it to add. And then we're just gonna start by doing this. Delete. 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 Switch to eraser. Just kind of work at erasing this. Until there's no more hard line. And then I'll just lower it a bit. I kind of think I almost want to do pure black in the center here. Not completely, but I think in the center of this, just being pure darkness is going to be kind of cool. But I'm not sold on that yet. I think the other thing here is okay, let's delete this. Let's copy this, paste this here, do this as a overlay. I think part of the thing is like all the lighting on the hills is like, maybe the fog is just too much. It's actually really interesting what it does with that saturation. I think adding a little glow to the moon would be nice. Just because. Yeah, I think the hills are just too... They need something. And I don't know what that something is yet. I think just darkness. I think that is my... I gotta cut through this fog a little bit too. I don't mind some of it, but it's a little too much right now. What exactly are we looking at? I don't know. But I think I like it. I think I like whatever I made. I also want to have little particle bits floating about. That helps sell the look. Keep thinking it's like off-centered. I mean, it's pretty good. Maybe we just need to do this a smidge. And then I think the last touch is just adding a bit of a vignette in some areas here. Maybe blue, multiply, big brush. Hello, shortcut keys? Am I like typing somewhere I don't know? Did my computer crash? No. I swear, sometimes Photoshop just kills me. There we go, jeez. I think I see what's bothering me now. Cool. I'm happy with that. Do 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 do. Looks like I'm out of water, so let me go to be right back, and I'll grab some water, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. Here we go. Yeah, I'll have to come up with... I literally didn't even grab my water. There we go. I'd filled it, but then just didn't do anything. All right, what's next? I'm most trying to think maybe some ruins are a good idea to do. I'm trying to think what would be interesting. Decreased card draw could be interesting. It's not like super crazy though. Trying to think of other options for runes. Yeah, card draw is interesting. It probably should exist at some point. Discarding a card probably also could. I don't know what else. Or if there's something more interesting. This just seems pretty basic, right? Decrease in card draw is probably the most interesting there, but I also think we can maybe do something with the consuming minions sort of thing. And have it do some sort of effect instead. Like, it could consume a minion and give everything else one power level, but that's actually not that good, arguably. We could have, like, the opposite of, Shadow's Den and, like, Abyssal Domain, but I don't think that's really good. Because that would just get confusing if both were in play. Whew. And like arguably usually not be as good. Boom, boom, boom. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that could be a cool thing, but I feel like it feels more active. If you're to destroy a minion, What are we doing, Maximus? That's a great question. Also welcome. I just more old god cards. I'm kind of trying to figure out what's next. I finished the Overflow Beast name pending, and then I did the Void Land, which is just a land that draws from the old god discard pile. That's what it looks like. Inspired by Void Rift, and because all the other lands are, or wastelands are drawn over existing cards, I drew it over the graveyard because that seemed to make perfect sense. So yeah, it looks pretty interesting, right? So yeah, and then Chaos Beast, he's still not perfect, but I'm happy enough with him that it's good enough. Or whatever the frick he's called. I'm gonna need to name him and name this. I like the term Void because it is, you know, Void Rift adjacent. God, my new art is just better. New art better. Void Rift is still fine, but I've improved a lot, which feels good. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I was trying to decide on a few new cards. Still trying to figure out exactly what proportions I'm doing it in. Or if it even matters. But I think it'd probably be more interesting to add more monsters, but I also wonder if I should try to even out card numbers as well. So, shrug, basically. So yeah, we're trying to figure out what to do next is what's happening. Do you have many just old god ideas in general? I know you've got like a whole pile of stuff, but I don't know if you have like any old god monsters, ruins, wastelands, curses, etc. ideas stewing. Could throw some more down there. I still really like the idea of consuming a minion and then doing something, and I don't know if that's a ruins thing, a monster thing, or what, but I don't have many old god card ideas. I wish I had the foresight to think about this earlier. Yeah, honestly, I didn't either. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I haven't had ideas about them. Hasn't like occurred to me. I was like, oh, you know, that would be a good idea. It's just like, yeah, it just never really occurred. I guess part of it is like, I don't want to have it like too complex, right? It's not supposed to be like the player cards, which like all synergize with each other and do like super cool things and that kind of stuff. Because if the old god starts having like complex synergies, then it just gets like a nightmare to track. You know, it's not supposed to function the same as the players, you know. I don't mind some synergy, but a lot of time like the old god has either, you know, synergies or even anti-synergies with itself, or like with your deck. Yeah, I mean, a good amount of simple old god cards are required for consistency. Yeah, I agree. That said, as I'm thinking about it, it's almost interesting to think about like actually having simple cards that synergize with each other, so it requires the old god to have more cards out to be more powerful. Although then I think you get to the point where it's like you're just destroying the old god cards before it can actually get its power, you know? It's an interesting concept, though. Like, it can be exponentially more powerful the more cards it has out. But, I think the monsters almost should be additively scaling, whereas the players are like multiplicatively, in a sense. So as long as you get past like the first bit, you can win. I don't know. It's all... I mean, yeah, you can make a card that gets strength per old god land, for example. That card is either going to kill a player or going to do nothing. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that might not be it. But yeah, that's why I kind of like the idea of the like consuming a minion, because minions are generally going to be on the board, but it does make it so it's like, okay, do I target the minions or do I target this guy, right? I don't know exactly what that would do, but like having an interesting thing that's being fed by minions is just kind of an interesting mechanic to me. It's the most interesting. It's basically like a, you know, a spell, or it's not a spell, but an ability for the old god where it's has like a cost, but it's giving them some sort of benefit. Although generally the problem with that sort of logic is it's going to work, but like if there are 3 less minions on the board, this monster has double the strength. The card could have conditionals for some sort of extra power. Yeah, exactly. Or like a monster that just gains strength for every minion on the board. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, either, yeah, 3 or less. Yeah, so it's stronger. Yeah, so the less minions it has. And so you'd want to leave minions on the board, but then that'd get kind of... I don't know if I want to encourage leaving cards on the board. But I do like the... I mean, yeah, actually, maybe I do. I don't know. I like the balancing act of, like, trying to figure out what your priorities are. Because that's kind of like the point of the old god, right? Gains strength per minion encounter... or per minion encounters is the same as does nothing or is insane problem. Yeah, very true. Very, very true. So, my suggestion is either make it this monster has 5 or more strength if there are 5 or more minions on the board. Yeah. And then what? Set it at what strength? Like 2 or something? No, either. The other idea evaporate into the either. Yeah, good. Good, good. Dude, one thing I hate, there's like a group of people, not a group, but I keep seeing like, I mean, I shouldn't just say this because who knows what kind of random streamers could be watching me, but there's a lot of people who like do their notifications for followers like, you've got a message, or like, this person mentioned you, or, and I'm like, that's just such a like, so annoying. It makes me not want to follow the person. It just feels like clickbait. Makes me angry. Anyway. Anyway. That was a random diversion. My brain is not working fast. It almost is clickbait. It's just really annoying. It's like, oh, this person mentioned you. I'm like, I don't think that's how this works, but like, that seems rude. You're like, oh, cool. And then you join, you're like, oh, this person's not even, they didn't though. Anyway, what are your thoughts on like on proportions of monsters here? Because I'm kind of struggling on whether I should just keep adding monsters or if we need more wastelands or what. My thought was two new monsters, so 4 total copies, 2 new wastelands, so 4 total copies, and then 1 of each ruins and curses. But that could be divvied up if we want to make it like more even, because right now there's 17 monsters, which is just like a weird number, mostly because of World Ender. That's uneven. Wastelands, we've got 12 of them. Ruins, we've got 8 of them. Curses, we have 7 of them. So it's like really weird to get like even numbers that are actually divisible while still getting the 10 additional card count that we're looking for. I don't know what the ratio should be, but I can say is too many monsters can make it easy, and too many wastelands makes it also easy. Monsters and lands should almost be the same. Well, the spells and runes should be like half or maybe even less. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, right now there's a good number of less wastelands to ruins, and I would say currently I think it's been feeling more difficult because there's more monsters. Maybe. I don't know if that's actually the issue though, or like that's actually what's causing it. I mean, a lot of it was the scariness that is Chaos Worm, but you can make it a monster a bit more than lands or the other way around, but drawing too many monsters or lands at the same time makes it easier. Yeah, for sure. I think I'd rather have it be monster heavy, I think, but I'm not entirely certain. My thought was making it so it's a total of 20. Let's think this through. I was thinking adding another strong monster that's only going to be an individual copy. Maybe not quite the strength of World Ender, but something along those lines, right? Which would bring us to 18, and then probably one more normal monster, which would bring us to a total of 20 total monsters. Wastelands, I think I was thinking of adding 2 more total, so 4 total copies. That would be 14 total cards. Maybe like 2 lands per 3 monsters per 1 ruins. Also decent ratio. Nothing like 3 monsters per land. Yeah. Which would then leave... This would be 3, 4... Actually, I think I already did this math. Why is the math weird? Okay, I need 54 cards total. I should disclude my... Frick. Control? There we go. Yeah, we have 44 cards now. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, there should be a ratio. I just don't know what the ratio is, yeah. And if we get all these to even numbers, it should be easy enough to, you know, it's all got to divide by 2, right? So then you just divide everything by 2. But the only problem is... is that the ratio is always 1.6. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why something's like not clicking in my brain here, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oh, its number of curses is 7, right? So 7. If that's 8. Runes is 8. Sorry, hold on. 8 plus 8 plus what? That'd be 20 plus... I guess 14? Oh, it's because it's not the right number. What am I thinking? Curse should be rare, honestly, and maybe even stronger. Yeah, I agree with that. At least some of them. I think sometimes I really feel like the old guy's giving you a break. Yeah, some of it's luck-based, like send or not send reinforcements, whatever the surprise ambush, right? It's like that can either be absolutely terrifying or just like, oh, perfect. They just discarded 3 cards. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I can agree with that. Some of the ones that are like Stupefy, where you just discard a card, it's like, okay, that's not that bad. But right now, I'm just kind of worried about the card count, and then we can kind of balance them after that. Honestly, I think there's... What is not adding up in my head here? Sorry, let me think for just like 2 seconds here. So that'd be 3, that's 4. Oh, that would only be 1. So only be 8 more cards. We need 10? Okay. I think I may have... I think probably to keep it as on track as we can, or like as similar as it is currently. Yeah. So right now we're at 17 monsters 2 copies each of each card. Sorry. Yeah, 17 cards. There's 2 copies each with the exception of World Ender, which is 1. Wastelands, all 2 copies. 12 copies in total. Ruins is 8. And Curses is 7. So I think probably 8 Curses and 8 Ruins is fine. And then we just add... So we have to add 1 Curse. I mean, arguably it might be better to just remove a Curse and add a Wasteland, and or sorry, a Ruins instead, so we can... Oh wait, no, that would... Sorry, that would give us 9 Ruins. We want 10 maybe. We want even numbers. If we just get everything to an even number, we can divide anything by 2, and that just makes it easier. And then we kind of just play around with the quantities of everything. I feel like I arguably like Ruins better than I like Curses, but... we could pretty easily make Monsters and Ruins, I think. Sorry, Monsters and Wastelands, similar quantities. Oh, for sure. Ruins are overall more damaging than Curses for me, 100%. Yeah, I agree, yeah. Yeah, pretty much the only, like, really scary curse, like, all the time is probably Desolation, honestly. The problem with curses is they can feel really unfair if they're too powerful. Because it's like there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas Ruins, even if they're like super powerful, you at least know you can destroy them. Whereas Curses, just like, it feels bad because it's just like, even Desolation can be alright sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Like, I gotta need that card. The new Wrath is pretty decent, I think, because at least you know it, like, it's always effective now, but I don't know. I don't think the Old God really needs a buff right now, so we'll come back to that later. But yeah, I think just trying to figure out proportions. I think maybe add 1 more curse for now, bringing us to 8. So then Ruins and Curses are at an even number, and then just figuring out how many Wastelands and monsters to add. I don't know if I want to balance it toward a slightly higher monster count or just like an even monsters to Wasteland count. I think I would rather have more monsters than more Wastelands. Even though, yeah, it's bad to have too many of each, I think I'd rather it be monsters, because too many Wastelands can just, like, really snowball a game. Whereas monsters, at least, you can kind of hang on. Sort of. I don't know. The problem is counting on randomness to be, like, probability to help you only works for number of games played and not for each individual game, right? It's the average of games, not the average of game. So I think erring on the side of one versus the other might make sense. Although, granted, I think technically the number of... Well, the number of wastelands was reduced, but now they're even numbers of them. So I don't know. I really need to play more to like actually balance this, but we also just need the cards in there to be able to balance it in the first place. So it needs a... Monsters could be a little more, I agree. Yeah. And monsters are just like, even if it's unbalanced with lands, I think monsters are at least more interesting, right? It's more interesting to fight a monster than fight a land that's just drawing, or wasteland that's drawing cards. So I think with that in mind, this math isn't right. So 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. That's, yeah, it's, oh, I know that is, why is that right? Was it not right? Hold on. We want to add 1 curse. 3 monsters. Maybe it's only 2 lands instead of 4 lands. Did I do that math wrong? I must have done the math wrong. 5. Yeah, that's 5. Okay, so we need a proportion like this. And I guess that works, right? Because then there would be... 20 monsters, 16 lands, wastelands. I really needed 8 ruins, 8 curses. So only be 4 more monsters than lands. Wastelands. Is that right, math? I think. Actually, there'd be no new ruins. That's part of the problem. Wait, no. Wait, yeah, there would only be... That's why. Okay, sorry. I figured out my math now. We wouldn't add a new ruins, and we wouldn't add a new curse. We could, but I think... Well, maybe we could. We could add 2 curses and 1 ruins. That brings it to... That brings it to 9. I think 8 is a better number. Because, again, we want it to be divisible by 2. Otherwise, it gets weird. Okay, so maybe we do 5 monsters, 4 lands, 1 curse. That's total copies, not unique cards. I would think we have 3 unique monsters, 2 unique lands, and 1 unique curse. Okay. I think that's the plan. And there'd be a total of 22 monsters. 22 monsters, 16 lands, 8 curses, 8 ruins. For now. Again, might tweak that ruins curse ratio, but I think that would be something we do once this new card count is in the game, and then we can keep adding beta cards, and then those cards can be replaced or removed or whatever for the base game, I think. Is probably the way to do it. And then I think beta will kind of have more niche cards, whereas the base game will be more, I don't know, just more more normal. More all-around cards. Like something like Growth probably should be in the beta. I don't know, I'm kind of just rambling right now, but I think this is the proportions. So we need to create a curse. Ruins we can just hold off on, I guess. Unless we want to do 2 new ruins instead of an additional unique monster. But I don't know, just talking at this point. Maybe we kind of figure out what seems the most interesting, but Growth should be 6 feet under. Yeah, I think Growth probably belongs in beta, but because it's very situational and with like sort of deck building sort of stuff, I feel like that's kind of where beta cards should be, is kind of more in that sort of deck building mechanic sort of realm. Kind of focusing on that a bit, whereas everything else should just be kind of more baseline sort of stuff. And like less niche cards, like River I feel like is kind of a niche card. It still feels okay to have, but it's not like, you know, something else. It's more situational. Okay, let's... Do we even have time to draw a whole nother card? Probably not. I could get started on something, although... Not sure how I feel about that. What do you miss? I finished this card, so that's our new Void Land. I don't know. It needs a name. I need to name everything. Then probably going for another like 40 minutes and I'll be done. But yeah. Got a Void Land. And then we've been just kind of chatting about card count. I'm trying to figure out how many cards to add and how many to... what the ratios should be. I think it's either going to be... So like 5 monsters, 4 lands, 1 curse, 0 ruins additional. Or alternatively, we could do... like 3 monsters and 2 additional ruins. But it's kind of like trying to figure out what the proportions actually should be. And it's kind of like, I don't know what that right number is right now. But technically I have to do 1 less card if I do more monsters, and I'd rather have the game be slightly monster heavy, I think. And they're also easier to make. I have a much more ideas for them than I have for ruins right now, so I think that's fine. Technically I would only need 1 more one more wasteland. Well, there isn't an exact right number. It's more of one ratio versus another could be slightly better. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's impossible to know what that ratio is though without playtesting. So it's like probably dumb to just debate over it for much longer, right? It's probably better to just get something ready and then just playtest, and then hopefully it works out. So for now, I think I'm just gonna go the easiest route, I guess, and just do an additional monster, because it means I have to draw one less card. And then once we get to just making more cards in general, then we'll you know, we can play around with those in the beta. Anyway, I can do some experiments with exact numbers, see what the experimental perfect ratio approach is, although it's probably going to be something like 17.869 monsters to 18.738 lands. Yeah, something weird. I would not be surprised. So yeah, we'll have to figure it out, but I think for now, and like the strength of monsters and strength of lands is gonna change everything and blah blah blah. So it's not worth worrying about. I think we just decide on something else. Got like 40 minutes. Okay, important question. Then what's the perfect win-lose ratio in your opinion? That is a great question. Honestly, I feel like I'm trying to figure that out. I know, like, it's sort of like a, you know, roguelike difficulty sort of game, right? So a lot of time that's leans toward it being more difficult. But also, like I said, like I kind of joked about, but I'm also sort of serious. We're talking about a player like me knowing a decent bit about the game. Well, I was gonna say, like, target demographic. Like I said, I joked about it before, but I'm also kind of serious. Is like, this is almost like your Magic the Gathering game you play with your girlfriend, right? Like, shouldn't be overwhelmingly difficult, but there should be some sort of challenge to it. Because the sort of nature of it being co-op, I mean, yeah, there are games like this that are like punishing, right? That, like, my brain almost wants to say, I always find that weird. Sorry. I almost want to say like 80-20, like 80% win ratio, but I don't know if that's too high. The better ratio might be like a 70-30, but I would rather have people winning more than losing, but that might be just because, like, I feel like a lot of people who have lost the game, yeah, that's a high ratio, I know. I don't know if it might even be flipped, like, should be flipped, but I'm not positive. I was almost thinking 2080 would be best. Yeah. I honestly don't know. It's hard to say. It depends on how bad losing feels, right? And it also depends on what god you're going against, right? Like, I almost feel like Yeah, well, and like, yeah, because I feel like right now losing feels pretty bad for new players. That's my worry. For veteran players, right? People who are better, that's different. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. Especially since deck building is going to give you a lot of power. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think maybe just finding a middle ground there of like 50-50 being your win ratio. But I guess I think right now it almost feels like in a good spot because I've had enough people, like most of the times I've had people play it on their own without my guidance, they've lost. But when playing it with like a good knowledge base, you can still win. And like this game is almost like, obviously there's a lot of random elements, but I almost feel like if you're smart enough, you should win the game, right? Skill issue L ratio. Exactly. So like, I don't know. Should the game be like you win no matter what if you're good, right? Because I don't want randomness to necessarily be a factor of you losing, right? Because that feels bad. I mean, it's going to be part of it regardless, right? But like, I almost feel like it's like one of those things where people like make a game and then new people play it and they're like, wow, this is way too hard. You see a lot of that in like game dev videos. They're like, oh yeah, I made this game and you know, it was kind of easy. And then like new people play it and they're like, I don't understand this. I keep dying. Like, it's way too difficult. Like, I'm good at it. And should I be able to win every time if I'm like the best at this game? Like, I feel like the reason you should win is because your skill is good, not because you got random cards that were bad placed against you. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just currently how I'm feeling about it. Skill, yeah. Although you're correct, L plus mauled equals ratio. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my thought. I don't know if it's right, but that's the closest thing. Shrug. So like, it's kind of a hard thing to say because yeah, once you get good enough, the game it just becomes easy, right? Although right now it's been still more of a challenge. I don't know what the win ratio is right now. Before it was probably like maybe 90-10, right? Before these updates. Now it's been about 70-30, I would say. Sorry, other way around, 30-70. Well, no. I've won more than I lost. Maybe like 60-40. I don't know. I don't think I would want it to be... I was barely losing, and it was mostly like, oops, World Ender Wrath first turn. Yeah, exactly. Now it may be like 50-50. I don't know. Kind of hard to say. I'm really gonna have to, I really just need to do more play testing. So like I said, I feel like the number of cards and all that is kind of moot right now. I think getting the cards in there so the ratios can be right so we can do deck building is the correct move. And then after that's done, moving to balance, whether that is removing monsters and replacing them with new ruins or whatever that might be. But I think balancing probably comes after just getting the card count to where it needs to be. Because right now it's just the wrong number, you know? I think that's the play right now. But, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question though. I should definitely consider that more. The ideal win ratio. Because I don't think like a game that you win a lot is necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, sure. Fix the card count first, I guess. Yeah. It's like right now we're kind of just grasping at straws to understand it. But yeah, I mean, shrug. There's only so much we can do at a time. This update's already like ridiculously large for the number of things that we're doing. I mean, for reference, we're adding like what? You know, at least 5 copies of Old God cards. We're adding like 10 hero cards. We're adding technically draw 2, play 2 is not even something that's in the base game, so that's being added. What else? A bunch of God or like just tweaks to everything. There's kind of a lot going. Oh yeah, Old God passives are a new thing, right? Kind of just yapping at this point because I don't know if I feel like starting something. Yeah, I don't know. It's spells have triggered effects or whatever you want to call them now. I do think it might make sense. I'm trying to decide if I think spells technically should have their own type of effect, right? It probably shouldn't just be called a triggered effect. I feel like that's going to lead to some weird interactions where cards that affect triggered effects do strange things. I feel like that really needs to be its own thing. I've also been debating on something for a while, and maybe y'all can weigh in on it. I literally am thinking of... Yeah, probably, yeah. I was thinking of something like a purple effect box. This is actually not even the current card, but I was thinking of adding a little lightning bolt to like this part of the effect box or somewhere around here. Just to... Because technically this is like bigger right now. This is like more like that. But I was thinking of adding the sort of effect lightning bolt somewhere within the effects area. That could be cool. Yeah, because like right now, it's kind of like how what they did in Inscription, right? Like where it's like the card type is on the card, but it's not super like crazy visible. It's like, oh, it's there, but it's nothing too insane. And I was thinking of having the lightning bolt here might be a good way to illustrate and sort of draw a link to the actual symbol. Because right now it's kind of not that. I think we would need, let's pull up the actual new info slot. Is it this? No, this is the very old one. Honestly, I don't even know what my where do I have this saved? Oh, I don't anymore. It's all in Dexterous. Yeah, so I think adding a little lightning bolt, and I think something like, honestly, maybe it'll be the same shape as a triggered effect, except for the spells. So like we'll have the same shape, but maybe like make it like a purple or something. I was thinking actually like a deep purple, like a. The problem is it keeps it the value. Does it actually work if I do color and on? Is it Control L? No. Control Shift L? Nope. That should be enough, honestly. It's a niche change anyway. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, something like that, right? Where it's just like a... I was thinking maybe giving it some like little effects, like, you know... I don't know. It's probably distracting, but like little magic-y cracks or something, you know? But that's probably more than it needs. But I don't know. Could be cool. I'm trying to remember what layer style this would be. I think you'd have to do multiple. Duplicate layer. I want like a deep, deep purple, like almost black. I guess you just do purple and then you would do a adjustment layer on top of that. Go away. What's up there? There we go. Human saturation. I was playing around now. Don't mind me. I have like a vision in my head and I'm just trying to get that, you know. Whether it's actually anything, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta do things. I'm just playing in the space. Just flopping around. The only problem with electricity is sometimes it looks like veins. That's not really what we're going for. Yeah, this is definitely overboard, but we're going for it. We're just having fun. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of looks cool. I guess the idea is like it's a like a sort of like the idea I think with spells, like now that they have cost, is like actual like spells have a legit toll on whatever caster is, you know, using it, right? Like, so it's a legit, like, to use this magic, you are actually, it comes at a cost, right? You're sort of more detrimental magic system. I thought it'd be interesting to illustrate that with an actual visual indicator. But it might just look like energy right now rather than like this is an actual cost. And I think what we'll do here is yeah, maybe Vivid Light. Should maybe I just do this and also do this as Vivid Light. Maybe? Nah. I don't know. This is what my vision told me. It's not quite exactly what I was thinking, but it's close. I don't know if it's like too dark for the player cards, but like maybe it should be a little lighter, probably. It's weird to get like a pastel dark purple. Which means it probably shouldn't be dark, but something along those lines is where my brain's at. I don't know. I don't know whether that's cool or not, but here we are. Let's put the little lightning bolt in the, see if we can implement that in the cards, and then that will probably be about time for us to be done. And then maybe if Tice is still, whatever, we'll raid him. It's cool. Something feels off. I can't what? Yeah. That is not it. I don't think that's. Oh God, I ruined it all. I think it's the border looks a little weird. I'll have to play around with it. This is just kind of an idea, not like specifically exactly what it should be. I mean, it could just be. It doesn't necessarily have to have the lightning on it. The lightning does just make it look a little bit more bad, right? So maybe that's the concept, right? Almost like that. Looks sickly. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna think about it. I mean, let me try one thing because we're still here. And why not? Is the color I was using? I think it was the. I think it's the the border that looks weird. I should do this on a separate layer in case it isn't what I want to fix. Vivid light. That might be too much. Nah. Sorry. Luna's snoring. It's kind of cute. It's not even really like a... Well, it kind of is a snore. What a cute kitten. Anyway. Again, that's just a test. Let's implement the lightning bolt thing. Or see if we can do something that looks good here. See where the where it would make the most sense. I think maybe rather than just dropping the symbol in, though, I do want it to be like a hand-drawn version of it, so it fits in a little better. Card template. Actually, not card template. We want the icons, right? We want... Where is the ability icon? Armor icon, ability card, basic attack. I guess I can show you what I'm looking at. Am I blind here? I know these are those. A lightning bolt icon on its own. I'm almost positive I... Okay, let's look through all these. Armor, no. Basic attack, no. Curse, no. Defeated icon, no. Old God, or God's icon, no. Land icon, no. Minion, no. That's still minion. Monster icon, monster. Land. Structure, old God spell, power level, ruins, strongest, structure, unit gain, weakest. What the heck? Am I losing my mind? I mean, I guess I could just steal it from like one of these. Actually, you know what I can probably do? I could probably go in here. Oh, maybe I just... That'd be wild if I just drew it and didn't... I could have sworn I did that in Illustrator. Unless that's something... Is that like a... I mean, I don't think it's going to be much bigger than that, so it's probably okay if it's just this icon. But... also kind of not ideal. Whatever, we're redrawing it. New... let's do like 100 by 100, and then we can scale it. I don't know if this is going to be perfect or not, but we'll give it a shot. See what happens. I need... like... this color, maybe? I guess something along those lines. Looks a little fuzzy. I just want those rough edges to make it look better for the thing. Let's try it. Save as. Card layout, icons, ability, indicator. Spell it right? Yeah. Okay, let's see what this looks like. We want a new image zone. And then we can do, nope, not devlogs. Art, layout, icons. This thing. Oh wait, you know what? I didn't do that right. Did I? Oh no, I did. Upload. How do I scale this? I don't know what the right spot is for it. That doesn't look good. I think there's a, let's zoom first of all. It's weird, I guess, that the transparency inside the... Oh wait, no, it is still on. Okay, that's fine. Export, PNG, save. The transparency was messed up. Which makes it look, as they say, not good. Replace. There we go, that's nicer. Scale's still too big. I almost want to say like it should be a... Isn't there blend modes? There are. Look at that. Like maybe screen? No. I want like overlay? Multiply? No. I don't know what the, they don't have the quite same blending options. Maybe the way to do it is just do normal and then just lower the opacity. Also, I think I want to turn off grid here. I don't know. Is that cool? ability is the wrong thing, but effect icon, maybe? It would be as simple as doing like if it has secondary effect box, let's insert it to the left column. Nope. Left column. We called it effect icon. I haven't done this sort of stuff in a while, so let's see if I can do it. It would be I guess if oh god, equals if this one, nope. Does this work? Equals no match. If then I'm trying to remember how this works. It's like if then, right? No match. Is the last one else? Is that how that works? Yes. Okay, that is correct. We just need, instead of yes, we need to put this image path to this icon. Don't know if that's the image path. I think that's just the name. I don't know for certain if that's... It might need the full file path, and I think it does. Let's do, let's go here. And once we get this in, I think we're done. Hopefully this was interesting. I feel like today's stream I didn't, I was kind of out of it, honestly. And I don't know why. Like, I feel like I slept well, everything was fine. I just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's maybe because I won't be streaming for a bit next week, or at all next week. Might be like the sort of vacation brain, as it were. Okay, in theory that should just work. No, we don't want beta, we want patching. Select an image folder, effects icon, then click the set folder. Okay, now none of it works. What? Why is it not? I guess it just wants this. I feel like the full file path should work. I don't understand why it does this sometimes. Ah, there's a space. God, I hate that. Singular space, just ruining everything. But how? What? Wait, why does it have a space? That's why. It has a space because there is one. Okay. Gotta love it. Refresh CSV. Done. Is it though? Is it done? There we go. I don't know. It's all good, maybe. Possibly. Something. Certainly there. Might need to be like squiggled around a little bit, but maybe it should go like more there-ish. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I think we're done. I'm really trying to decide if I'm going to be if I'm going to be streaming. The cat's gone. Yeah, I'm really just trying to decide if I'm going to be streaming Friday. If I do, it's probably going to be earlier again, but I'm not entirely certain because I'm have to leave early on Saturday, and I just don't know if I want to do that. If I do, it's going to be a short stream or early. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Let's see if we... I think I'm just going to raid Tice here. Dual wielded. I don't know if any of y'all are still here, if anyone's in the old in Twitch chat. But if you want to, feel free to join me on Twitch. I'm gonna just go jump there, and then because I'm gonna be watching him anyway. So, all right, y'all. It's good seeing you. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. And wait one moment. Oh, he's still here. He's hiding. He was sneaky. Let's make sure he's not ending his stream. No, he's still there. Yeah, sorry I've been lurking. No, you're good. You're good. I appreciate the lurk. I'm going to go ahead and raid Dual Wielded on Twitch, but he's a cool guy if you guys like game dev. Really wish they had YouTube rating, but they do not. Well, they do, but it's not a thing. Have a good one. Yeah, you too. I appreciate you stopping by. I do not mind the lurks whatsoever. Let me get on Twitch. Cool. Sounds good. He looks like he's working on some stuff for his devlogs. I need to do too. I definitely need to get that out. It'll be hopefully once I get back, it should be out relatively shortly after that, but we'll see. All right, just closing some of my stuff here. I really need to finish making my my helmet that's back there. He's I need to like make it. I want to have like wires coming out the bottom. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right. We got a few viewers on here, so we're just gonna go for it. It's actually kind of crazy. I feel like my viewers jumped up more than they should have. Anyway, let's do it. Let's raid him. He's a cool dude. Away we go. Hold on a second. You have to hit start raid, and then it has to actually do the raid thing, and then 2 viewers. Heck yeah. Anyway, see you guys over there. I will be, yeah, like I said, if I'm back Friday, it will be earlier. So either earlier or a short stream, one of the two. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. I keep saluting with the wrong hand. Anyway. Fire in the hole.